This is Chris for JamPlay.com, and this is Fretboard Roadmap Caged Edition, where we take chords C, A, G, E, and D, and we look at how the scales, arpeggios, and corresponding pentatonic patterns work within the context of those basic chords, all up and down the neck. It's an extremely powerful system, and it's an extremely great way to look at the overall guitar neck and how things are organized. Not the only way, but an extremely powerful way. Many guitar players tend to look at chords and scales, or scales and pentatonic scales, or arpeggios and scales. They look at them as all sort of different things, like, oh, I gotta learn my pentatonic scales. Oh, I gotta learn my basic chords. When really, they're all very, very closely related. And this course is gonna show you via the caged system, which sounds like a big thing. It's really not that big. It's taking stuff that you might already know and organizing it in a way that's going to help you get around the neck and be infinitely creative with basic scales, basic chords, basic pentatonic patterns. We're going to take a look at how all these relate around the guitar, and we're going to apply them in some extremely creative contexts. Take this C chord, for example. There is a pentatonic scale, a major scale, and an arpeggio that lives within this shape. Or you could argue that this lives within those shapes. They're all sort of the same thing. And so to illustrate that a little bit better, we could come up here and play it, let's say, as an E chord, and we'll bar it like this. And we can play a scale that this chord lives within. We could also play an arpeggio. We could also play a pentatonic scale right in this same area. Extremely powerful stuff, especially when you start combining what I just showed you with all of the different chord forms, C, A, G, E, and D, and learning how those chord forms relate to each other within chord progressions, how they can be layered for maximum walls of sound, how you can use and sort of designate certain shapes for your rhythm guitar playing and certain shapes for your lead guitar playing within an arrangement. It's extremely powerful. The caged system has so much potential, and it's not that difficult to learn. Now, Fretboard Roadmap Caged Edition is a 10-week live course exclusively on JamPlay.com. And during this 10 weeks, we're gonna look at 5 different musical contexts that will apply combining different caged positions to create awesome arrangements over grooves, over backing tracks. We're going to explore creating backing tracks, creating musical contexts using this stuff. So you're not just gonna learn the patterns and do nothing with them. You're going to be able to download the drums and bass versions of these tracks and experiment for yourself after witnessing firsthand how to really make the most musical opportunities come to life. This being a live course, it is highly interactive. You guys have the opportunity to watch week by week. Even if you can't catch me live, you can watch the archive. You can send me messages, you can interact with me during the week. And though there is a tight course curriculum planned, you guys have the ability to drive each lesson with your questions and comments. If you've got something that hasn't been covered yet, you can ask a question and I'll address it in the next live event. This is cool because you have the opportunity not only to steer the content a little bit, but you have the opportunity to witness what other people may be asking. Maybe they ask it in a different way than you would have, and it helps you learn something in a way that you wouldn't have actually learned it. So I encourage you to get involved. If you can watch it live, great. You can interact live with me. If you can't, be interacting throughout the week. Ask your questions, pay attention to other people's questions to get the most out of this course. Also, there's downloadable supplemental content and week-by-week guided practice videos where I summarize what we do in the overall live portion, and I give you tools to practice for each week so that you can get the most out of each live section. I hope to see you at jamplay.com for Fretboard Roadmap Caged Edition.